disbeliever into the pale of Islam due to one likelihood is more beloved to me, is preferable to me than for me to remove a Muslim from Islam or judge that a Muslim is outside of Islam due to 1,000 possibilities. So he said, if there's one possibility that this is Muslim, I'd rather say a non-Muslim is a Muslim than for me to say that a Muslim is a non-Muslim because of 1,000 possibilities. So rushing to accusations of apostasy is extremely dangerous. And the Prophet ﷺ taught us that if someone accuses a Muslim of apostasy, that's actually apostasy because you're saying Islam is other than it. And that's denying Islam. So may Allah protect us. It's something to be extremely careful of. And also, it's something to be very fearful of in yourself, falling into it. And may Allah protect us. Not to have waswas about it, but the Prophet ﷺ himself, and he is the one to whom the Quran was revealed, and the Imam of all believers, he would often say, "O changer of hearts, make my heart firm on your religion." Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And we should make this dua. We should ask Allah for a good ending all the time. And the knowers of Allah, their fear is of apostasy or losing their faith and having an evil end. And they know that the heart changes, and that's decree. Allah decreed that, and we don't know. And the Prophet ﷺ taught us someone might be doing the acts that look like the people of paradise, until there's a cubit between them and paradise, and then their book catch up to them, and they do the acts of the people of fire until they enter it with the billah ta'ala. And we don't know. None of us know, and none of us knows what's decreed. So we should be very cautious about our faith and always beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us firm and be very careful of those things that could cause us to have a bad ending. And they say that those return primarily to attachment to the world and sin. And those are the primary causes, and also heresy and belief is a main cause, and it's very dangerous because at the time of death, those things can catch up with one. So what is apostasy? Apostasy is leaving Islam by a saying, an action, or a resolve. So someone who says, they say something that's kufr, that's ridda, that's apostasy. I'm not going to repeat that statement, but if someone were to say something that like to mock things in the religion, can be, like if they say something that's mocking, like if someone were to say they wouldn't even do it even if Jibril told them to, for instance. That's kufr. Mocking the sunnah can be an act of apostasy. They mentioned mocking the imamah can be a statement of apostasy, mocking the siwak. And modernists, I hate to be specific, but modernists and modernists and also people who try to reconcile Islam and the modern world and the Sunnah come dangerously close to mocking the Sunnah to the extent that it would be kufr sometimes. They have a dislike for the siwak, they have a dislike for the imamah, they'll have a dislike for beard. If you mock those sunnahs in a certain way, most of them are ignorant. And from someone whose ignorance is excused, it's likely that for them it's not apostasy, but from someone who is informed, that would be an action of apostasy. We don't accuse them of apostasy, but us in our khutbahs and our teaching and our children, we have to be extremely careful of the alfad they use. And they say, ad-deen ta'zeem ad-deen. The religion is magnifying the religion. And belittling the religion, belittling Quran, belittling the sacred mosque, belittling anything about the Prophet ﷺ or his sunnahs, those take you very dangerously close. An action, doing something physically disrespectful to a mushaf, for instance, and Allah protect us, that's apostasy. A resolve, if someone says, next year they're going to stop, getting down with Islam. From that point, they do. So someone who intends to leave Islam or intends in some future point they leave it at that point. And we seek refuge in Allah from that. Again, we should ask Allah to make our faith firm. We shouldn't accuse people of accusations of disbelief. That's not our responsibility. That's the responsibility of a qadi or something. We could tell them you shouldn't do that because that's kufr, but to actually declare someone an apostate, it's better. One shouldn't do that. And wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Please recite Fatiha, seeking from Allah sincere accepted works, beneficial knowledge, good teaching, providing the guidance, and that Allah give happiness thereby to the heart of the Prophet and that the reward of the Fatiha go to our parents, teachers, sheikhs, those whom we owe rights in the presence of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Fatiha. Alhamdulillah.